What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Fight Podcast. I am Serg Vicente, your host, and I am joined as always on Tuesdays by my brother from another, the Guru, B Camm. B, what is going on, man?
Serge, my guy, what is good, man? Happy to see you. I know, bro, I was just telling you before we even went live, bro. I'm so proud of you, man. I know how hard you've been working, shit moving in the right direction. So I'm so proud of you, my guy. Happy to be here with you talking a big fight this week. Everybody knows Tank and Ryan. So yeah, happy to be here, man. Happy to see your face. Let's get to it.
Hell yeah, well, dude, thank you very much, man. From you, that does mean a lot, man. Because unlike most, you actually know the journey, man. So from you, man, I appreciate that. Dude, not only do we got a fight, we got the most anticipated fight of the year, arguably, this weekend.
Yeah,
I mean,
because if I almost want to say if maybe rumors are true. I have seen some rumors about Spence Crawford.
man,
Terrence Crawford's his sister has been chirping a little bit. She's been a little bit chatty, but I'm like, that seems a little bit off. Like, why are they just letting
yeah.
her talk like that? But I've heard some rumors of it being announced this weekend. We will see. Who knows what? But my point was that if that fight got announced today,
Yeah.
they may have over marinated it. I'm not sure it's bigger than this fight this weekend.
Bro, I'm with what it's over marinated. I'm the one to say it. We have fatigue. We got used to it. Felt like Pacquiao Mayweather all over again, and I think we're just over it. Like at this point in time, even if they announced it today, until I see those two dudes in the ring together, I don't believe shit. So this is by far the most anticipated match of the year. Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, two of the young guns, arguably two of the best in the weight class. I don't want to say Ryan is, but Tank is arguably the best in the weight class. So we will discuss that. But before we get to that, there was some boxing this past weekend, Top Rank, a big fight in the heavyweight division. We had Joyce, the boogeyman of the division, as a lot of people say, was competing this weekend against the competitive Zhang. And I think all of us, we talked about this last week, we thought Joyce, arguably the number 3 heavyweight in the world, we said. I think three or four.
I don't know.
Three to five. Top 5, do we say?
Top 5, sure.
Top
Not
5.
3.
Maybe him
Because
being
because
5.
you got Usyk Fury Wilder. That's top
Right.
3. Solid.
Right. But I did see places and pundits sitting there trying to say that he was top 3. They had him actually ranked over Wilder. So not me personally, but people have said that, right? So this guy goes out here. He's supposed to go out there and smoke Zhang. That did not happen. Zhang swells up his eye, 6-round stoppage. The undefeated Joyce is no longer undefeated. B, what were your thoughts on this?
This is one of the fights, and I'm not a betting man. I don't do the betting apps or anything. I know how popular it is, and this is one of the ones that I truly regret, because if you watch boxing, while this was a surprise and it definitely was an upset, if you watch both boxers and specifically Zhang's last fight, this wasn't the most surprising thing in the world. I think in his last fight against Filip Hrgovic, Zhang showed himself a lot. He lost a very close and controversial decision that a lot of people scored to him, but he showed himself and he showed the world that he belonged. And I think he moved into the next fight sort of with that I have a belt mentality, where you get the belt and you get 10 to 30% better. I think he moved into that next fight, even from a loss, with a renewed sense of confidence and this idea that he belonged even at 39 years old. And he goes in there, and like I said, while it was an upset, if you watch boxing, you could have seen this coming. Zhang has some nice power to him. Guess what? Joyce takes the high, what they say, the highest amount of punches per round in the heavyweight division. You can't do that in the heavyweight division. Joyce, your record is 15-1, 16 fights in after this one, but he's 37 years old, and the chin is one of the first things to go. So, before I go too deep down this hole, I want to make sure I say that Joyce is one of the few fighters today that actually lives up to this idea of taking on the biggest challenges. And
Yeah.
while he did lose via TKO on Saturday, I want to make sure I commend him and give him his flowers, because I'm not necessarily sure at 37 years old how many elite level fights he has left in his career. So I want to make sure I give him his flowers, because there's a lot of guys that would have taken that WBO interim title and just waited for a big fight and would have fought a couple trash bags that we would have had to sit through, and we would have been pissed. But he picked on a real fighter. Fury. Yep, he picked a real fighter in Zhang Zhang. Now, I thought he was a real fighter, but the way Joyce showed up, I'm like, shit, did he overlook this guy? Did he even watch his last fight? He just sat there and took straight lefts, hooks, and really anything Zhang wanted to throw from the opening round. He heard him. He heard him early and often. Started swelling up that fight, that eye, and Zhang did what he wanted. He fought at his own little old man pace, he did. Joyce, he throws a lot of punches. He can turn the tempo up sometimes. Zhang just sat there. He just was like, fine, throw your little pit pat punches. Waited till he felt like fighting, and then when he decided to fight, he hurt Joyce just about every time he decided to put those punches together. And by the time he came out for that for the 6th round, I told you guys I didn't think he would make it out for the 6th round. I said, hey, this fight is over. His eyes completely closed. They let him come out for the 6th round. Stop at about a minute 23 into the 6th round, and they stopped the fight. His eye was completely closed. It was a very impressive victory, and I wish I would have bet on this fight, because it was not the most surprising thing. I think as the opening bell went off, I texted you guys. I said, hey, upset alert for this fight. And while I came out, I'm not going to say
the other infamous group chat.
Yeah, the other infamous group chat. I'm not going to make it seem like I picked Zhang. I did have Joyce picked, but this was not the most surprising TKO in the world. And where do I have Zhang now? I have him at, let me see. I think I have him at that number 5 spot in the heavyweight division.
So what do you have? So we have Fury, Usyk, Wilder. Then who do you have?
Now, it's debatable, very debatable on if he actually deserves this ranking, but I gave Ruiz the edge. Okay.
I was going to say that myself. I thought Andy deserved that spot. And after that, then you give...
He does not deserve that spot. He does not. Not in my opinion.
But at this point in time, I'll say skill-wise, and again, like we always talk about the eye test, at this point in time, he's still an active heavyweight. He gets that spot. But
is he an active heavyweight?
It's debatable. It's definitely debatable. I'll say this: there are heavyweights, though. We have a lot of fun. We have Jared Anderson is coming on. He went out there, big baby. This what was it, week 4 last? Also, he's showing up and showing out. I think something that you said is really important about this one. It's time for a step up. They've tried to give him step up fights. This past one was supposed to be a step up. I want to see him fight some of these top 10 heavyweights. I want to see him going out there. And what's the Cuban brother? Why am I missing his name?
Frank Sanchez.
I love Frank Sanchez. He's another one. Those two I want to. Maybe I want to see them fight each other. But I want to see a step up. In fact, Frank Sanchez and Jared Anderson would be a fantastic heavyweight fight. I would love to see them, especially at this point in time. I think they both are ready for a step up in that direction. I'm here for it. I don't know if they do it, but I'm here for it.
I don't think you put Jared Anderson in there with Frank Sanchez. Frank Sanchez is put out there, and guys don't look good against him. Even if he wins, I don't think. And Frank Sanchez is undefeated at 22-0. I don't think it's going to be a pretty win. So I would say, FA, I think is the perfect fight for Jared Anderson.
FA is a great fight for him. Yeah, and FA, I think he looks good against FA. I think he stops FA.
I agree. Now, coming back to Zhang. What he goes to next. This was an old fucking fight on Saturday to be so relevant. The combined age of the two fighters in the ring was 76 years old. With Zhang was 39 versus Joyce, who was 37. So 39 is important because that tells me he hasn't had a lot of big paydays in his career. He's going to try to use his top spot. He's going to get after it. He's going to try to take the best fights that he can get. So I went through,
Absolutely.
a couple different scenarios in my mind. The first fighter that comes to mind, and probably one of the first fighters that comes to your mind as well, is one of the most talked about guys in the heavyweight division, Anthony Joshua. These guys actually do have some history with Sergio. I'm not sure if you're familiar. They fought in the 2012 Olympics, controversial decision. Anthony Joshua wins and goes on to win the heavyweight gold medal. But from what I've read,
Didn't Zhang get there? He also was a silver medalist in the Olympics. Was it the same Olympics?
was he a silver medalist?
Yes, he was. Zhang's a
Yeah,
silver medalist.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I
Because
should
that
have
was
done
the
more
thing. I
research.
know that
Should have done more research.
yeah, but Zhang and Joyce are both silver medalists. That's one thing that I knew that went coming in. So it's the caliber of the two athletes is something to talk about.
Yeah, let me look here. But either way, so they have some
Yeah.
history there. And hey, like I know you and me, neither of us are picking AJ in that matchup right now. So I think that's a good matchup for him. But I don't think that's the matchup that Eddie Hearn is going to put AJ in. I think right now that matchup is all bad for him. But I think it's compelling, and I think Zhang is a much better fight for AJ than Zhang is not the fastest guy in the world. I think AJ is going to have a chance to land some of his big shots. They've been putting it up against some of these slicker guys. They're not made for AJ. So I think that fight could be good for him. Guaranteed that they're not going to make it right now. So then I thought a Fury matchup would be good, but then the demand factor comes in. And I think the same issues that he had with Usyk about how much is he bringing to the fight, he's going to have with Zhang. Another guy that crossed my mind, I think this is a good fight right now, is both Ruiz and Daniel Dubois. I think both of those fights are really good, and they could be possibilities. I think the fight we probably end up getting, especially with the Fury fight seemingly not happening at this point in time, we probably get Zhang against Usyk, and I think that is a fun fight.
That is a fun fight. I'm here for that fight, and obviously I think Usyk wins it, but he can make it interesting. We'll see. He's a big heavyweight, so we'll see. That's all well and good.
And
real quick,
and just
go ahead.
I don't know. We understand how big of a market China is. Yeah. When have you ever seen a relevant Chinese heavyweight? This is big.
Well, he's looking to be the first Chinese heavyweight champion. That would be his claim to fame if he does get it. I mean, and again, he's gigantic. He's a thick, big guy. But you know what? He has some skills, man. He really does have some skills.
6'6".
Yeah. Dude is huge. Great size for this era of heavyweights. And that's why
was he two? I can't see.
278?
Yeah. 278.
Oh, Jesus.
278. 6'6", 278.
Son?
That's and listen,
that'll swell up your eye. You don't let that dude hit you directly in the face, Joyce.
And exactly. But that's why this idea of the more you study boxing, that's why this idea of a bridgerweight division exists. And I used to be against it when it first came out, but now I don't know, like I don't necessarily have Ali specs in front of me, but he was 6'2", like maybe no bigger than 220. You get the guy
214, I think at some point. So that was Mike. One of them was like 214. He wasn't that big. 218, I think.
You get in the ring with a guy like Zhang Zhang, he's 6'6", 278. That's almost a 60-pound advantage where you have weight classes that are 5 to 7 pounds apart in all the other parts of the sport.
Yep.
That just doesn't make sense. Now, I don't want to get caught up in that, but
hey, I'll tell you about, here's one thing. There is a fight happening this weekend that I mean, is it a catchweight?
Yeah, 136.
Yeah, it's a catchweight fight, but again, it's still within a few pounds of national weight class. What was that?
Not only a catchweight, but the most talked about rehydration clause ever.
Ever. I've never heard anybody talk anything about a rehydration clause this much, but here we are. This weekend, we are finally here. Gervonta Tank Davis, rising star, arguably the biggest, especially the biggest like black young pay-per-view star right now in the world of boxing, against, I mean, a talented social media phenom who actually has legit skills in Ryan Garcia. This fight is billed as two of the most entertaining, two of the biggest draws in the Young Guns, and the fact that they're actually fighting each other is important. We've talked about it at length on this show. Please go back and watch any of our 15 other beautiful episodes. Hey, brother, this is episode 15 of this specific show. Salute to you, my guy. Hey, they say, what is it? It's over 90, what is it? 90 like 8% of podcasts don't get beyond episode 15. We just hit 15. Granted, this is also part, I think, episode like 390 for the fight podcast. So, we and you've been on 2 years of shows. So
3, 4.
Three,
I've been
four
with
now.
this since 2019.
You know what I'm saying? Dude, pre-pandemic, nigga. What?
Mhm.
Bro, I knew you before the world changed. Oh my God. How crazy is that?
Man.
I digress. This fight is going to be fantastic. Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia. Ryan has a lot of different aspects in this fight that I think a lot of people like. But Tank Davis, rightfully so, is the favorite in this one. B, how do you see this fight going down?
Well, how about you? Mind if I just give you my keys to victory for both
Let's go.
fighters? Okay,
Let's
so
go.
we have
Let's go.
Ryan Garcia, 23-0, 19 knockouts versus Tank Davis, 28-0, 26 knockouts. Now, I don't think Sergio sold you short. These are two of the top fighters at the lightweight division, even though they're fighting at the catch weight of 136. And I do think this fight is for supremacy of the lightweight division, belts aside. Now, the keys to victory for both fighters, as I see it, for Ryan Garcia, he needs to control the distance. Don't be Sebastian Fundora. You have a huge height advantage. I'm not sure what the reach advantage is here. Looks like you have a 70-inch reach versus a 67-inch reach. So he has a slight reach advantage, but he has a huge height advantage. He needs to make sure he use that advantage and he's able to land the jab. Don't go straight back. Ryan Garcia, like a lot of fighters in boxing, to be quite honest, has a tendency to go straight back, and he leaves that shit very high in the air. Hey, guess what? That's going to be a really bad idea against Gervonta Davis. I would highly advise against it. Do not get caught up following Tank. While Tank is a pressure fighter, Ryan Garcia can be lured in, and Tank knows that. So there's going to be points in the fight where he takes a step back. Ryan Garcia needs to be aware of that. Don't get caught following him because he will be looking to set you up. Recently, we've watched Tank. Tank starts fights slow as he finds his distance. He has to find ways to get in range, especially with his shorter, smaller frame. That's going to be no different with Ryan Garcia. As we've talked about, he has a very big height advantage. So Ryan Garcia, as Tank is finding that range early, guess what? Start fast. I want to see you swarm him and put pressure on him early, because you don't want to wait around for him to find his distance, find his range in the fight for you to start putting a plan together. It's going to be way too late for you. I think skill for skill, Tank just has more skills than Ryan Garcia. So I think Ryan Garcia needs to come on, put some pressure on him early, and get that respect. So start fast. And this is not necessarily Ryan Garcia's first big fight. He fought Luke Campbell. Oh, I believe that was over in the UK.
I was going to say, man, that Luke Campbell fight was big. And Luke Campbell, again, we're talking about somebody who's a gold medalist as well. Luke is a legit guy.
Yeah,
just throwing it out there.
You go over there; those are not your fans. Those are not your people. Like, yeah, it's a big fight, but it's not this. This is for lightweight supremacy. This is the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. You know, you haven't been part of these big pay-per-views consistently like Tank has. They've built Tank into a pay-per-view star to the point where he's used to the lights. He's used to this moment. Ryan Garcia is not used to that moment just yet. And so while he may say he's fine with everything, once those lights come on and you got to walk out of that tunnel first and then wait in the ring for Tank, shit is different. I don't care what you say. I don't care who you are. Shit is different. Do not let the moment overcome you, because you have not been on this stage before. So that is my last key to victory for Ryan Garcia. Now, on the other hand, Tank Davis.
Before you get there, in terms of, I agree with you. I have to say this. I agree with you in terms of he absolutely cannot let the moment get too big. Luke Campbell, as great as that fight was and as talented, that was his biggest step up in competition, but this is his biggest moment. He's never had one of these. I want to say he's going to be ready for something like this. You know, he has been hurt before. So I know that he has grit and he has determination. So I think that has something he's going to play into it a little bit as well. But another thing is I think, and I don't know if you said this, but he needs to be able to counterpunch and really set up Tank. He needs to be able to, work to the body, make sure Tank get Tank coming in. Tank utilizes explosion. He kind of tries to get you in, that one punch, especially nowadays. Granted, would I love to this be like Hagler Hearns and they come out just throwing bombs from the jump? Ideally, that would be amazing. I highly doubt that that's going to happen. So if he's able to draw him out, Tank Davis is going to take his time. If Tank Davis goes out there and tries to take his time, Ryan Garcia is going to have to make him open up and explode, and he's going to really have to make him pay for those explosions. He has a quick left hook. Can he be, who's going to land first within these hooks? Because they're both hookers. Who's going to end up getting them? Continue with Tank. I know you're about to say stuff about Tank. Am I far off from what I was saying though? You feel me?
And I didn't necessarily have the left hook there just because it's like so obvious. Like everybody knows that's Ryan Garcia's Sunday punch, but like obviously, land the left hook.
Legit, it lands, and he's learned to not just land it just to the head. He throws it to the body. He throws it from every angle, and it's not and he throws it with a lot of power, no matter what angle he's thrown from. It's like a shortstop chucking something with a different angle. You know what I'm saying? Depending on where he is. He really contorts his body in an amazing way with that and generates so much crazy torque. But
agreed.
Yeah, but Tank, I'm sorry. Go ahead and jump into that.
So on the Tank side of things, and those are some really good points in terms of Ryan Garcia, but on the Tank side of things, number one, be defensively responsible. We have seen Tank, especially when he knows he can take someone's power with some defensive lapses. I think he's much more defensively responsible than he shows us, and I think he will have to show us that this Saturday night against a power puncher like Ryan Garcia, where those punches can come fast. He won't see him coming, and he'll find himself on his ass if he's not being careful. That's just what it is. I don't necessarily think any fighter at 136 pounds is going to take too many of those left hooks. Maybe you get through one. I don't think you're getting through too many more of those. He's absolutely demolishing guys with that quick, twitchy, fast left hook that you just mentioned. Also, occupy the lead hand. The lead hand is the one that's throwing that left hook. Tank likes to probe with that jab as he finds his distance. I think it'd be a good idea to occupy that lead hand to make sure to try to stop him from throwing that left hook as much as possible. So occupy that lead hand. Ryan Garcia is also flat-footed. What do you want to do to a flat-footed fighter? You want to create angles and use lateral movement. I think Tank can fight moving laterally, and I think that's something he's going to have to do, create angles, move laterally, but make Ryan Garcia utilize his feet. Also, to that point about feet, take advantage of foot position. He's flat-footed. Tank has way, way faster feet than Ryan Garcia, and I do think in the Southpaw Orthodox matchup. Oh my gosh, that was hard to say. Southpaw Orthodox matchup. He's going to be able to take that outside foot position if he wants it. So I think get to the outside foot and take advantage of that flat-footedness. Use mental press. So take your time. That's my other one. Yeah. Take your time. He usually takes his time over that first 4 to 6 rounds to find his range. It shouldn't be any different for this fight. Ryan Garcia has a hell of a left hook coming at you. You want to take your time to find out what's going to be safe for you to get inside that range. But with that pressure, use that mental pressure to your advantage. Tank he should be coming forward all night long. And as he comes forward, Ryan Garcia, 6 to 8 rounds in, I'm not sure if he's ever had anybody come forward like him towards that, with the danger that Tank is going to present. That's mental pressure. It exhausts you. It makes you tired in a way that you don't necessarily train for, because this is meant, and some people may train for it, but Tank loves to apply that mental pressure. And so that's my last key to victory for Tank, is apply that mental pressure.
Mm-hmm. Those are, like, again, great points. I can see him doing it. My only concern for Tank is that obviously he's a pro. He's been in here, but man, at times it feels like he's taking, Ryan lightly. And if he does go out here and actually does take Ryan lightly, he's gonna get stopped. And we can kind of just jump into it now, man, and talk about what we think and what's gonna happen. But I'm gonna say, man, I got Ryan Garcia on this one. I think Ryan's gonna go out there. I'm rocking with Ryan, man. King Ryan's gonna go out there. I think he's gonna shock the world. I think that this dude is gonna go in here. Tank is going to get caught coming in. We forget. I think the X factor, if we're looking at, and I'm so upset. I'm blanking on his name. Ryan Garcia's trainer.
Oh
Oh
shit!
man,
Oh,
dude,
I got
why
you. I
am I
got you. Joe,
blanking?
Joe
Yeah,
Goosen. Joe Goosen.
yeah, Goosen. I think that there is an X factor. He is an offensive minded hammer. If you look at some of the guys that he has had from Diego Chico Corrales and others, I mean, his guys are offensive marauders and they go out there to absolutely destroy. And I think that I'm seeing Ryan Garcia throw harder. Physically, he looks like he's in better condition than I've ever seen him. He seems like he's taking this fight extremely serious. And I think he's going to put his best foot forward. I think he's going to blitz him early. I think he gets Tank out of here within 6. I really do, because that's the thing. Tank does start slow. He does wait for those individual shots, especially the longer he's been champion. He's not going to go out there reckless, and I understand that. But if he does try to get into, I think Ryan is going to try to pull him into a pissing battle. If he puts him into that pissing battle, I think Ryan's going to come out and win, man. Ryan Garcia, KO. Not even TKO, KO.
One advantage that we haven't spoken about that I give Ryan Garcia is the fact that we actually haven't seen too much of him with Joe Goosen. We've seen him one
You know
fight
what I'm saying?
against Fortuna with Joe Goosen, so we
Yeah.
don't necessarily know. We don't necessarily have that tape on him. We
X
haven't seen the
factor.
improvements that he's gotten to make. And I think Joe Goosen, legendary trainer, he thinks Ryan Garcia is one of the most talented fighters that he's ever seen. He doesn't just take on anybody. He has to really believe in your talent. He believes in Ryan Garcia, and I believe he's going to squeeze out every ounce of offensive ability that he has. But with that being said, I am going in the opposite direction, and I am picking Gervonta Tank Davis by KO in round 5.
Oh, man.
Complete obliteration. Put his bitch ass to sleep. And I don't even hate Ryan Garcia, but I feel like he's going to sleep on Saturday. Luke Campbell was able to find that chin. I think he's going to get caught up under the lights. I think some of those things they practice in the gym are going to get lost. And Tank is going to be able to find that chin with a bomb. And I think with that win, Tank stakes his claim at the top of the division.
Look, man, it is absolutely hard to argue that. You do make great points. And you know what, in the world, I mean, this is what happens when you have two great power punchers. They can both go out. They really can both go out. This is a game of inches, but I'm excited.
It's not going 12.
It's not going 12. I will be so disappointed if it went 12, but I highly doubt this goes 12. Somebody's going out in their shield. That's what I believe is going to happen.
It's 12 might be a good bet. It might surprise all of us. They might both be super conservative. It goes 12. Someone's going to win a lot of money betting on the decision.
Yo, and whoever the winner is, just be ready to lose to Shakur Stevenson in like a year or so. Okay, just have fun now, because Shakur's coming. He's going to fuck all y'all up.
Shakur's not beating Tank.
Shakur dubs Tank.
All right, we'll see.
I'm telling you, Shakur is him. I stand on that.
Hey, you know, I love Shakur. I just heard how he's spoken about Tank. They came up together, the amateurs, and when I hear the way Shakur has spoken about Tank in the amateurs, I'm like, yeah, he know Tank got something. Tank got something. He don't necessarily,
because he talked mad disrespectful about Devin.
I mean, he talks disrespectful about Tank now too. He's in the same division. He's trying to build up to a fight now, so it makes sense. I think Tank. I don't know if he's able to get away from Tank's power for 12 rounds. Don't believe it. And he has power. I don't know if he necessarily has the power to trouble Tank.
Hopefully it is a fight that we will see sometime in the future. But this weekend we get an amazing fight. We get Tank Gervonta Davis against King Ryan Garcia. I cannot wait. I feel like we've been saying this so often in boxing, which is an incredible thing to say. I feel like I don't remember when I've been this excited for a fight, and I feel like we say this every other week now when it comes to boxing, and
that's how it should be. That's how it should be.
Absolutely how it should be. It's absolutely how it should be.
Now, Serge, you asked me earlier, and I've already
Yeah.
said my answer to this. Is the winner of this fight the best lightweight in boxing? I took some time to think about this, and I'm big on titles. I do think that they matter, but Floyd Mayweather taught us that boxing can be more than titles. And I think with this fight, with
Yes.
not a single title on the line, being the biggest
Yeah.
fight in the sport of boxing, that shows you that sometimes there's just so much star power that
Yeah.
titles just don't matter. I think between this fight and the Lomachenko Devin Haney fight, those
Yeah.
are the top four light heavyweights. But especially in
Lightweights,
the
not light heavyweights. Lightweights.
excuse me, lightweights.
Yeah.
In the last three, the winner of this fight will have
Mhm.
the most significant win in that division in like the last few years, especially since Teofimo's gone. He had that win against Lomachenko, but he's going out the
Mhm.
division. They'll have the
Mhm.
most significant win over the last few years, and with the star power that they will have and the drawing power that they will have, I think they have a clear claim to the top of the division for the winner of this fight this Saturday. Clear.
I will say this. The winner of this fight is the biggest name in the lightweight division. They're the biggest star of the lightweight division at this point in time. I don't believe that they're the best in the division. I'll say that. That's how I'll say it. Hands down, the winner of this fight this weekend is the number one position. Cash cow, the man. You are the man at lightweight. Doesn't mean you the best. That's what I'm saying. Because at this point in time, I don't know if either of those two are better than Devin Haney, who has all of the belts. Especially if Devin Haney goes out here in 2 weeks and schools Lomachenko. Look, man, that's the dude. If he does that, I don't care who wins this fight. And then again, Shakur Stevenson's another one. Dude is like, we always talk about the eyeball test, and yes, we have to see them actually against the competition, and 1000% I fucks with that. I get it. But man, my eyes don't deceive me, and I'm pretty good on my damn picks, and what I see, like, that there's a special talent. So I think he's coming. So we're in such a lucky place as boxing fans and pundits and everything else, because there's so much talent right now, and it seems like these young guys are actually trying to fight each other and trying to pick fights with one another, and they all know each other and they're all friends, but they're just competitive. They just want to win and be the best, and that's when boxing is at its absolute best. I respect it, man. We have a next few years of some incredible boxing. I can't wait.
I mean, boxing can always boxing, so don't let's not get too confident. But for right now, we have.
I could be hopeful. We
Uh,
have a good stretch. I could be hopeful.
I've been
I
let
could be
down too many
idealistic
times.
with this.
I think I'm a bit senile. Like, um, yeah.
I hear you. I hear you.
I will say this. I
Yeah,
said what I said. The winner is the best lightweight. Like,
I
and
hear
I
you.
get, and
I hear you
you have great points. Totally respect that. And I think that's a
Yeah,
reasonable perspective. I just think this fight represents so much for
for sure.
boxing and the division.
For sure.
I think here's the thing: anything can change after
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
We can watch that Devin Haney Lomachenko fight in a month and say,
Yep.
shit,
That's what
I can't deny what I've just seen, and the winner
yes.
here is the best of the division. But as of Saturday, the winner will be the top lightweight.
I hear you. No, and it's hard to argue that point. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I need to see the champ with all the belts compete. And if he goes out there and beats the snot out of Lomachenko,
And you know what?
like,
You're talking about Haney beating the snot out of Lomachenko.
if Loma goes out there and dubs, dude, yeah.
I'm thinking I could see Loma going out there and getting a stoppage. That's not
Look,
far fetched at
it
all.
is absolutely not far fetched. It is absolutely not far fetched. And if it happens, I'm not mad, because we love Lomachenko here. We do. We love Loma. Loma's that dude. I'm just excited and happy that we have these young boys out here that are doing it. Pitbull Boxing, what is going on, my brother? What we got? Future great fights to make. Benavidez versus Canelo, absolutely. Bivol, better Viev. Let me see. We pull this up for us. Better Bivol, better Viev. Usyk versus Fury. Who you telling? Fury better get his stuff together. Wilder versus AJ. Do you think that fight's actually gonna happen? I don't think they
Wilder
give
versus AJ.
Wilder an AJ. I don't think they're gonna feed AJ to Wilder, especially not now.
I think it happens. I think if AJ can get past
Bam
White,
Strada's a great one. Yeah,
if,
Bam
if,
versus
if,
Strada.
if AJ can get past Dillian White this summer, and I have heard that they may have moved that summer date out towards the end of the year, but if he can get past Dillian White, I think that there is a lot of money still to be made in that fight. There's a lot of trash talk. There's a lot of build to that fight. I don't necessarily think either fighter is going to want to turn that away, especially when you think you're not necessarily sure how many paydays that AJ has left. So I think that there's still a major chance of that fight happening.
Okay.
I will tell you, I don't really care to see it too much. If we don't get it, we don't get it. I'm not missing anything at this. With how AJ's performed as of late, he hasn't given me anything to drool over.
Hey, only thing I'd be excited about is like, wow, we're finally going to be able to see Deontay Wilder knock this head into the 5th row.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of how I feel about that matchup. But with that being said, that's about all the time we have for today. Guru Camm, thank you so much, my brother. As you guys see, at Camm13 or at My Wash Gospel on right? Is that it? At My Wash Gospel
on Twitter.
On Twitter.
I don't even be honest. I'm gonna start going by My Wash Gospel. That's just gonna be like
do that. That'd actually be dope. Yeah, keep that on there. We'll change that up for next time. At My Wash Gospel, definitely following great boxing follow if you have not followed him already, and if you're looking at any black show on television, this guy's your guy. He commentates on all of them and it's fantastic. If I'm ever, I swear to you, if I'm ever behind on some shit, I just know, like, let's look at B shit. I know, like, I'm gonna find out what the hell's going on.
And look, tomorrow is the last episode of Snowfall ever. I'm it's a bit of an interesting time. I'll miss that show. They gave us so much for so long.
Well,
the last episode ever.
Next week we might have to get a breakdown. We'll see.
I got you.
All right, y'all.
We got plenty of breakdowns next week.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I can't wait. Next week, make sure you guys join us same time, same place, Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 on the East. We love you guys. If you guys love some professional or pro wrestling, jump over to the Scrap News' YouTube page. Man, I am stumbling all over that. Run over to the Scrap News YouTube channel. Check us out there. We are doing the Royal Rundown. It is episode 50. So we have some fun going on over there. Check us out today. Much love. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Fight Podcast. We appreciate you. B, salute to you, my brother. I appreciate it. And we will see you guys next time right here on the Guru's Corner, the Fight Podcast.